Likutei Halachos, Krias Shma, Halacha Hey, the fifth halacha. We hold the Sif Ches. We said you have to learn Shma in the morning, at night in the morning, and the main hisarusa, the main way to retain the light is with hisarusa del tasso. The night starts with awakening from above, hisarusa del elo, but it's not complete until you say in the morning hisarusa del tasso. That's why in Pesach, this is Pesach and Shavuos. Pesach was awakening from above, where it was a watershed of light that came out, because otherwise we would have drowned in Egypt. So we had to do it, but we were not ready yet. So that took 49 days of Isarusa del Tasa, the awakening from below. Every single day we prepared ourselves and created the various vessels in the room, the capacitors and the connectors and the this and that. Everything was ready, all the way it was ready. So on Shavuos we can receive the Torah. Yes. The revelation of the light is an aspect of prophecy. And I saw Hashem. In the name of Hashem, our God, we will mention Rashi Tevos Novi, as the Sefer Amidah says. And the main nevuah is in the day. As Chazal said on the Pasuk, B'yom Tzavos, in the day that he ordered. It says, Al Ken Nevi'o Musa Oilom Dafka, to the prophets of the other nations, and the Balayla, because Baruch Hu reveals himself only at night. As Chazal said, Bilam, he came to him at night. The nevuah, the prophecy that comes to the Goyim, only comes because they have no keli, they have no vessels, they don't do anything to make the vessels. They're not worthy of it. That's why the prophecy comes to them dafka at night. The Nevi Yisrael, the true tzaddikim, you can find every once in a while, Baruch Hu reveals himself to them dafka at night. When did this happen? When it was, because Baruch had to get the nevuah, because Am Yisrael needed it, but they themselves personally were not ready for that. They were not worthy of it. That's why they received the nevuah at night. In this union of awakening from above and awakening from below, there are many different aspects to it, there are many subtleties to it. Even when a person receives the light through his efforts of preparing a keli, of awakening from below, nevertheless, the keli that you have prepared are not sufficient, are not worthy, not commensurate with the revelation that a person receives. So therefore, so the whole thing is considered, you got it through a protection. This is Sarosa del Elo. You got it through an awakening from above. You can think of awakening from above as a protection. They did you a favor. You didn't deserve it. Sarosa del Tato means that you were prepared for it, and you deserve it. Sarosa del Elo means you got it without deserving it. You got connections, as they say. If you have connections, you don't protect you, right? So you got protection, you got connections, you got a fnim shus adim. So he says, even if you did, the work before, and you made this but the revelation was beyond the care that you did, it's considered that you got it through protection. So he said, so a matona, this is also del elo. This you got it from above. That's what That's the perfection of Moshe Rabbeinu that was zeicher to a nevuah on the level from face to face more than all the other neviim. He was so completely removed from this world, and he worked so hard for Kodesh Baruch Hu, he got the nevuah only with an awakening from below. That's the main perfection of the life. HaKadosh Baruch Hu admonished them. If your prophet, if your prophet, Neviechem Daika, Hashem is Baruch Hu Navi Shalem. In other words, who is your prophet? Hashem will be your Navi. In other words, that he brings you the nevuah from above, because it's Rusa del Eilo, and awakening from above, it protects you. I will speak to him in a dream. But that's not Madrega of my slave, my servant Moshe. In my entire household, he's felicitous, he's trusted. And he will see the image of Hashem keviyachol. Yabit. He himself perceives the image and the message of Hashem Kiviyachol. A perfect awakening from below, perfect preparation, that he was zoicha through his kedusha, his sanctity, and his abstinence from this world. Because all the other neviim, they were awesome, awesome tzaddikim. They received the nevuah with gewaldige kedusha, the gewaldige sanctity, through their preparations. They did their homework, they prepared themselves. But when compared to the kedusha of Moshe, so the entire nevuah is, the entire nevuah is considered as if it was a source of the Eilo. It was a protectia, a friend from Hashem. If Hashem will be your Navi, Hashem will be the one who bestows, not you. Rashi Sham says, and they cry, water, water. In other words, that their preparation was not b'shleimus kanal. That Maisa that we're talking about, water, was a big Musar Askel that Miriam and Aaron learned. Aaron HaKohen, he was the prophet of Hashem until Moshe came to Mitzrayim. He was the big kahuna. He was literally the big kahuna, but yes, I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean that. I meant that, but I didn't. You know what I mean. Anyhow, he was a big chief. He was the Navi. Yeah. Now, Miriam was a Neviah. He was a Neviah. She said that Moshe Rabbeinu will be saved and he will save Am Yisrael. The whole story. Now, Moshe Rabbeinu, when Kodesh Baruch Hu gave the Torah in Har Sinai, so for 3 days, the men had no access to the women. Then, everybody received the Torah. Hashem said, let everybody go back to their tents. And you stay with me. Because when Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, tell everybody to abstain, from privacy, intimacy with their women for 3 days, Moshe Rabbeinu learned Kal V'chomer by himself. Kodesh Baruch Hu wants to talk to the Yiddish people. What they need to do, they need to abstain for 3 days. He says, what about me? Kodesh Baruch Hu comes to me all the time. And there's never a specifically reserved time. He says, okay, prepare yourself. Kodesh Baruch Hu can reveal himself on Moshe Rabbeinu at any given moment. How much more so they should be totally abstained from marital relations. So when Moshe Rabbeinu said, let 70, take 70 people, Moshe Rabbeinu said, Kadosh Baruch Hu says, I can't carry all of them. I mean, that's too much to eat. You know what I'm saying? Give me, Kadosh Baruch Hu said, I'll give you 70 zakenim that they will, they will get in the well, take from the spirit which is upon you, give it to them. Then Yeshua came running and said, Eldad and Medad, they're the two ones, because when you connect, you divide, 70 to 12, you have two extra. Because 70 does not, 72 is divisible in 12. 70 is not, you have two extra from who is going to be, okay, you and you are not going to be in the Knesset, you're not going to be in the Senate, you're going to be outside. No Shevet would want to do it. So Eldad and Medad, they said, we volunteered, we won't be Nevi'im. And all the 70 went with Moshe Rabbeinu. So because they were so humble, then Hashem gave them Nevuah in the Machna. They didn't go outside to Olmert. They remained in the Machna, like they were simple people. To go give Nevuah to them also. What was the Nevuah? Nevuah was that Moshe Rabbeinu is going to die, and Yeshua is bringing everybody to Eretz Yisrael. Well, Yeshua heard that. Yeshua heard that. The last person who should have heard that is Yeshua Binu. He got really verhitzed. He runs to Moshe Rabbeinu, and they came to Moshe Rabbeinu and they said, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the Machna, and they said, Moshe is going to die, and Yeshua said, incarcerate them. What does it incarcerate them? He says, give them tzach tzibur, make them mayors and this and that, and they will, then kalim aleim, they will, waste themselves away. Moshe says, Moshe says, well, you're jealous for me? Alavai, the entire Am Yisrael will be Nevi'im. Well, but when he said, when they heard the rumor that Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the Machne, Moshe's wife Tzipora said, "Oh, vai for the women." I says, woe for them, woe for their women, for their wives. So Miriam says, what's the problem? He says, the minute Moshe Rabbeinu got to the boy, whatever it is, he has nothing to do with me anymore. So next time, so Miriam and Aaron said, this is not right. They spoke of Moshe. It's the famous incident when they spoke of Moshe. Isha Kushi Slakach, he took a beautiful wife, and he says Hashem spoke with us, we are also Nevi'im, Hashem speaks to us, we're still, married normally. Well, what happened next is as follows. Both of them were caught in the act. When Hashem says, Yehu, Miriam, Aaron, to El Moed, they were in the middle. So the first thing that they do, they scream, water, mikveh. We need to travel in the mikveh. The Bible says, no time, quickly, oil Moed, immediately. You can't have oil Moed. They come to oil Moed. So it says, Moshe, Aaron, and Miriam, to oil Moed. Okay, they got to oil Moed. Then, Kadosh Baruch Hu says, Aaron and Miriam, out. Then he speaks to them. And he says, how are you not scared to talk about Moshe Rabbeinu? And this whole thing says, B'chol Beisi Ne'emanu, Lochim Nevi Hashem, his nevuah is not like anybody else's. Everybody else's nevuah is Knesset Rusa del Eila, Chalom, in a dream I'll speak to him. This is, Moshe Rabbeinu is not like that. So this is when Miriam became Mitzvah, she became a leper, and then they left her outside the Machna, and they waited for her, So comes the question, why did the Kodesh Baruch Hu call Moshe? Because it's Moshe, Aaron, and Miriam to Olmert. Then he said, Moshe, Aaron, and Miriam, come out. I want to talk to you. I got to talk to you. So the Medrash says, so why didn't he say, speak in front of Moshe? Why did he speak to them in front of Moshe? So there are two terutzim that they bring. One of them is Aaron was a bigger brother. Because Baruch Hu didn't want to shame him before his little brother. That's first thing. Second thing, he wanted to reveal to them the praise of Moshe Rabbeinu. Chol Beisi Ne'emanu, he's trusted in my entire household and everything. I'm trying to get this. Where's the?
You're poking the audience in there.
Yeah, no.
Poke.
No, the camera is on the side. So when I poke them, they look like I'm doing something with this finger. They don't know what on earth is he doing.
Scratching your ear.
Yeah, it's like they don't see it. Sorry about that. Anyhow, and the second thing is because he's saying the praise of Moshe Rabbeinu in front of him. He says, whoever klal, you don't say a person's entire shevach by his face, when he's present. This is mixes shivchli, a little bit of the shevach you say in front of him, but you don't say his entire shevach by him. So, because Baruch Hu called him out, and he said the shevach of Moshe, so Moshe Rabbeinu wouldn't hear that. The question remains, what was Moshe, what did he need Moshe there for? He wanted to talk to them, call them. Why did he call Moshe Rabbeinu and then take him out? What did Moshe Rabbeinu do doing? Kodesh Baruch Hu was telling them their entire nevuah was the Krias of Moshe. If Moshe Rabbeinu is there, he can talk to them even if they were caught in the act and they have no mikveh, which means that total no preparation whatsoever. Moshe Rabbeinu is there, Kodesh Baruch Hu can even talk to them. If Moshe Rabbeinu is not there, they can go to 1,000 mikvahs. No one help. He also told them, obviously this comes obvious from here, that he told them that for you, your preparation with your mikvahs and with everything else is still itarusa del eilo. You cannot possibly prepare yourself enough to receive the nevuah. So kivayachol, whether you don't prepare at all or you do whatever it is you want, it's considered itarusa del eilo. They're both protects you. They're both. Why? Because you got it from Moshe. Because Moshe is there. The schus of Moshe I can talk to you even without a mikveh. This is what he says here. He says, in the Krias, Hashem, that's why Rashi says, V'hem tzoakim mayim mayim, and they're crying, water, water. In other words, their preparation was not perfect. Kanal. Ad kan, Sifka.